I would just like to return this, please.
Yeah, sure, no problem. Let me just make sure it's not damaged.
It was skipping a little bit when I first got it, so I think something's wrong with the tape.
You're gonna have to pay for that.
I don't have any money on me.
That's gonna be a problem.
I rewound it.
You rewound it! Fucking rewound it! Rewound it! Boy, I feel better. God damn it. You fucking moron. Why don't you try dying a little quieter? Woo! Oh, hey. I fucking love this movie. Ha! Hello, internet fans, and welcome to 3B Video. I'm your host, Rottin Roger DeMarco, and today we're going to be talking about John Fasano's 1988 film, Black Roses. Fuck yes. Metal! Okay, so for those of you who don't know about this staple, this absolute metal staple in the horror genre, here is your plot synopsis. A group of demons pose as a hair metal band called Black Roses. They're gonna kick off their tour in a really small town called Mill Basin, and they're gonna use their metal to possess the youth of America and turn them into piece of shit teenagers. Sort of demon-possessed teenagers under the control of the demons. That's about it. Not a whole lot going on under the hood with this movie, but before we get into my overall thoughts of the film, first, let's take a look at Rottin Roger's Splatter Facts. Meow. So we have 8 dead bodies, and we also have 8 titties.
The titty to death ratio is flawless.
That's math. We have demon rock concert, gratuitous not being 17, 1 rock invasion, 1 mullet wig, an anarchy montage, teenage chanting, obligatory witchcraft research, breast fondling. As much as I'm a fan of it, it's there for no reason whatsoever. Demon puppet punching. Demon groin kicking. Road flare spell breaking. And 1 open ending. The methods of death include, but are not limited to, off-screen. About had it with these motherfucking off-screens.
You know the rest.
Death by stereo. Lost Boys style. Rocked into demons. I'm gonna count them. I'm counting that as deaths. Ran over. Gunshot. Kissed to death? Yeah. Pushed out a window. Skull bashed. And throat slash. Okay, so now on to my overall thoughts of this film, guys. I think that this movie is 100% essential if you're a fan of schlocky 80s horror and you're a fan of metal music. This movie kind of marries the two. There are a lot of horror films that came out in the 80s that blended metal with horror, like Trick or Treat, which I reviewed earlier, which you can see that video if you click the little clicky thing here or over here. I don't know. I'm still new. One of these spots. You can see that video if you want. The 80s metal monster movies were running rampant and they were fantastic. And I feel like this one sort of gets swept under the rug a lot. And that's a shame because this movie is so much fun. I mean, it seriously has one of the most killer soundtracks ever. Phenomenal demon makeup and really silly gags when it comes to the monsters and all of the crazy death scenes. Completely over the top, video store staple type of film that you would only see if the weird guy behind the counter told you about it. And that's why I'm here. And as far as this just being a very standard horror film, that's not the case. This film has a lot to say about the way parents react to music, the way parents react to film, all of these things. The parents think that they can control the teenagers and sort of put this bubble around what they're allowed to see, what they're allowed to hear, and are afraid that rock music and horror films might be some sort of a negative influence. The social commentary is there in your face, slapping the shit out of you the whole movie. And there's some very interesting points that are made in the script because ultimately the parents were right to assume that metal and horror would cause some sort of problem in the youth of America.
I don't want to get into this.
And I also think that this movie has a lot to say about what it means to be a follower of someone, to not be a leader, to be very easily influenced, and to just be like, well, they say it's cool, so it's cool. Because ultimately, these teenagers who decide to blindly follow this rock band and sort of become under their influence, once the rock band is out of their lives, they have to face the consequences for the things that they did. And it's a very interesting point to be made about how just because you're influenced by someone doesn't mean that you're not responsible for your very own actions. It's a little bit deeper than the standard metal horror film. This is one of those movies that's extremely well written, but not well acted, if that makes sense. Very wooden. You were wooden. I said it. And I love these types of films where metal is the central plot device. I just think it's a really cool window into that specific period in time, where you have all of these kids in like jean jackets with mullets and driving Trans Ams, and they're like, fucking Def Leppard rocks, man. I love Def Leppard. I don't care about your Def Leppard hate. Def Leppard rules. What has 9 arms and sucks, not Def Leppard. I also really like the puppet demons that are used, and I think that the execution of cutting back and forth between puppet action and actual person in makeup is done flawlessly. There's a lot of really innovative effects in this movie, and it's a shame that this movie doesn't get recognized for the creature designs, monster mayhem, and all the crazy shit with the stereo coming alive and killing Big Pussy from Sopranos, all this weird stuff that happens in this movie. It definitely deserves to be seen. I just think that this movie is a super fun, easy 90 minutes that has quickly become a staple in my library. And I think that if you're a fan of ridiculous hair metal and demons and completely gratuitous nudity, then this movie is definitely for you, because it's so far on this side of the spectrum from what's typically considered a good movie. But this movie is just one that you throw on and you have to introduce your friends to. You have to be like,
Oh my god, dude, have you seen Black Roses? Cause what the fuck? So rad.
I mean, there's some weird things in this movie, like overly sexy girls doing questionable things with their teachers, doing questionable things with their stepdads, doing questionable things with their friends' dads. It's almost like an adult film. In fact, I think that each one of the things I listed probably have their own tab at Pornhub. Just saying. But in my personal opinion, this movie is 100% popcorn as fuck, because it does do all of those things that I just listed. It's just a wild monster movie with heavy metal and tits like every 20 minutes. It's just that movie where you want to get the soundtrack, you want to go get in a Trans Am and spin cookies and drink a 6-pack of Pabst Blue Ribbon, I guess. I don't know what cool people do. I'm gonna have a soda. But you guys do whatever you want. Get that Trans Am off the blocks in the yard and fucking jam out to this movie, because it's fucking incredible. I can't say enough good things about this movie. So in the grand scheme of things, you know, this movie might not be Oscar worthy or mind-blowing to the general public out there, but in here at 3B Video, this B movie is the movie. But I suppose I should probably get going, because after all, there's a lot of movies out there. Somebody's got to watch them. So why not me? Right? Are you done dying yet? Hey, Evil. We got another one.
Go ahead. I don't shop here.
Hey, Evil. Clean up on aisle 4. Hey, Evil. Break out the big skillet. Hey, Evil. We got any of that lime left? We got something we got to take care of. Hey, Evil. I killed a guy. Got him! Cut it.